Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over the top 8 deck lists from the late night series, and yeah, Gyarados VMAX won the whole thing, right? That's crazy. It's not necessarily just a Gyarados VMAX list. We will be getting over that into a little bit, but shout out to All Out Blitzel and all the other players that played in this event. It's crazy. Late night series always brings some really cool stuff, and I'm super excited to share these deck lists with you. The link for the event with standings is going to be there, as long as if you want to sign up for any late night series events for the remainder of the season. That link is there as well, so you can see from the events, past events, upcoming events, all that great stuff. Give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more great Pokemon TCG content, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite deck out of the late night series. If you played in the event, what deck did you play? I'd love to spark a discussion with all of y'all. Let's jump into these decks. You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! So here we have it, the late night series just finished up. We're going to scroll all the way over here to the one that finished out with All Out Blitzel winning. So we had 246 players, absolutely awesome. We're going to be covering over the top 8 players deck lists, and I mean, well, if we see a deck list, we'll cover over, like, if it's a different archetype. But you can see that we had an Arceus, Ice Rider, Whimsicott, Suicune, Ludicolo, really different field. So if you are getting ready for any of the regionals going on this weekend, New Jersey, Lille, or if you're going to be in Perth, you might want to be checking out this video because the metagame might be a little more different than we thought it would be. That being said, we're going to be jumping into Cal Connor, my Shuffle Squad teammates list of Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. So going in with the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX play, you're going to be all about using Max Lance, doing 10 plus 120 for each energy that you discard, up to 2, so 250 for 2 energies. Powering up those energies with Melanie. You got Choice Belt Leon, so you can hit 310 basically, and Pat to the Peak to slow things down. I mean, I think it's kind of hot. And you got Ride of the High King if you're ever not able to get that number, so you go Ride of the High King. Then Max Lance is typically better. Quick shooting to get some extra numbers there. I mean, I think this is a hot build. I don't know if Manaphy was super necessary. I don't know how much spreading Cal ran into. We'll jump over there. I mean, I think this build looks cool. I don't know if Avery does enough. Everything else here seems very normal and standard for a list like this. You're just going to be searching out Shady Dealings for Melanie or whatever other pieces you need and attacking with Ice Rider. Very basic deck, but let's see where their matches were. So they didn't run into any Rapid Strike decks as far as I'm concerned. They ended up playing against an Arceus Inteleon, a Mew deck, and a Suicune Ludicolo, and then they lost against a deck that played Rapid Strike, but Rapid Strike, I think they just poorly drew anyways. I don't know if the Manaphy actually helped them out there. So moving on, we got Mario Yanez playing Whimsicott V-Star. Really popping off after Frank Perchik was able to make second place at the European International Championships. So Whimsicott's all about using Trick Wind, stopping your opponent from attaching special energies. You got Path to the Peak, Crushing Hammers, and Fan of Waves to really slow your opponent down. And this list plays an Experience Share and a Raihan to really try to get things back up. To me, this looks like the list that won Bilbao Regionals with iCaterpie out there. Overall, I think this list is cool. I actually like the Andrew Mahone build that Riley Hilbert was able to top 16 Indianapolis Regionals with, a little bit more modified version of that. So I mean, I'm not necessarily going to comment on a deck that I think has already won a special event. I think it's a cool list for sure, but let's see what they ran into. So they had a very strong Swiss going 7-1-1, losing to a Shadow Rider deck. I can imagine Shadow Rider's just attaching a bunch of energies. There's a bunch of basic energies. Tied against a Ray deck, not really sure. Lost against an Arc Malamar, which I can imagine is possible. And then they ended up losing against the Arceus Gyarados deck that we'll get into in a little bit. But I think that's just because they play a lot of basic energies. So we will be moving on. Another person playing the deck, Keto Devil. You can see that this deck is very similar to the one that I was discussing with Andrew Mahone. So it's one of those things where Zacian V is going to be powering things up. So if you don't necessarily have an energy, you can power up the Trick Wind a little bit quicker. I like this version of the build a lot more. Not sure if you need the Avery. I'm not a huge fan of that card in this deck, to be honest, but it's one of those things where, that's just my opinion. I think this is a cool build of the deck. Let's see how their day fared out. So they had an 8-1 in Swiss, losing to Zarude. Of all decks, very weird decks of this late night series. Zarude, I guess, would have a lot of basic energies if we look over at this list really quickly. Yeah, 8 basic energies, Rillaboom to power things up. So going back over, That's fine, 8-1. They ended up losing to On Guard. On Guard was on fire yesterday, so I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And I can imagine that Whimsicott loses to Suicune Ludicolo pretty much every single time, because Suicune Ludicolo doesn't play that many special energies and can knock out Whimsicott pretty easily. I think it's a hot pick. And we're moving on to Azul GG, the legend themselves, playing again a very similar build to what Riley Holbert, if not the exact same build. This is the build that I would go with. Azul's one of the best players, if not one of the, like, literally one of the best players in the game. This is the build that I would just pretty much default on right now for Whimsicott, so I think that part's pretty cool. How did their matches go? They had a very strong 8-1, losing to Whimsicott Mirror, went undefeated, and then lost against Arc Moltres with lots of basic energies. They actually played less basic energies than I thought, but they have the copy of Clara, the copy of Palpad, Energy Retrieval, Training Court. These are cards that Whimsicott does not want to see. So shout out to Azul. Moving into the top 4, we got Diego Franch that's playing Arceus V-Star, the Moltres deck. This is the deck that knocked Azul out. So, I mean, I think the whole of this deck in Arceus decks is to Trinity Nova, Trinity Charge onto your own Arceus Vs and different attackers. I'd like to see a Hoopa V or like a Galarian Moltres V or something else that you could power up here for dark matchups. But other than that, I mean, this is pretty cool. We got the Moltres, so after sacrificing a prize card here or there, you could definitely go in with the Malevolent Charge, Fiery Wrath, Energy Retrieval. This to me seems like a very standard build of the deck. I'd like to see one less double turbo energy. I don't think any deck really needs 4 nowadays, especially considering you could just search it out with Starbirth, but good for them. Let's see what their day was. 6-2-1, sneaking in there with the Mew Genesect, losing to a Mew deck, very difficult, and losing to a Whimsicott deck. I mean, I guess it could happen. The 4-1 losing again to Whimsicott, so maybe the Whimsicott with the 5 special energies, that's probably where they struggled. They ended up beating Azul. It happens. Totally happens. Moving on, we have On Guard playing their wacky crazy deck that they usually play some kind of wacky deck. This looks like Sylveon without the Sylveon. So just going Arceus, Crobats, Rapid Strike, Urshifu. Not sure, like, it's just like a dark fighting build. A deck like this, I mean, I think that there's ways to optimize it 100%, and even On Guard let us know what's going on with that. It's one of those things where you can't really comment on a deck that they would probably optimize themselves. So it's a cool deck. Maybe there's some concepts in here that could be roped into other decks, but I think with the way that it all looks, like, it's fine. I want to see exactly where they ran into things. They went 7-2. So that's cool. Losing to a Charizard deck, losing to a Rapid Strike Urshifu deck. Does make sense. Went undefeated. Was able to beat Cal Connor. We saw the glimpse of that on stream, and it just absolutely just didn't happen. I saw some misplays against Grant Manley, not knocking out Lotats, which caused Ludicolo to knock out their Pokemon with its ability, whatever it's called. It just got the Enthusiastic Dance, got the knockout with Suicune on the Rapid Strike, after we all thought that they should have knocked out the Lotad. So it happens. Moving on to Grant Manley's deck. So Suicune Ludicolo going to be all about Melanie, very similar to Ice Rider, using Enthusiastic Dance to increase your damage by 100. So it's all about hitting those correct numbers. 2 cross switchers is cool. I'd probably play 4 in the deck, but I think they said it was due to spacing issues, because they also played the Rescue Carrier and the Manaphy. They can't make the deck too inconsistent. Grant had a heck of a run, but I don't think there's really too much that I'd change about their list. I think their list looks pretty solid. They went 6-2-1, losing to Zarude, which I could imagine Zarude probably just easily knocks out their Pokemon 120 plus 120, plus whatever else Zarude wants to do with Choice Belts. They lost to Azul. Not sure why they lost to Azul, but maybe Azul got some Crushing Hammer heads there. Had a very strong win going 4-0 there, and then just played out their last one. There was an issue there where they tied, and then afterwards we had to fix it based off Grant's stream, because there was a stream delay, so that's likely why they didn't just tie in. Ran all the way to the finals. I'm not sure how their game went there, but On Guard misplayed there. In the finals, it was a difficult matchup for Grant. Let me explain this in a second. All Out Blitzel with a crazy deck, playing Arceus V-Star, Gyarados, Jolteon. So Jolteon with Memory Capsule, if it has a Memory Capsule attached, you do stop Water Pokemon from using abilities. So Grant had to not have access to Fleet-Footed, not have access to Enthusiastic Dance, not have access to Shady Dealings, anything. And this deck just uses Gyarados as well as Memory Capsule, so that you could use Get Angry. So Get Angry allows you to do 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. really can add up over time. So Gyarados VMAX absolutely going crazy. You love to see it. After it builds up some damage on that Gyarados with 330. Now, they had a little bit of a crazy run here too. Losing to Whimsicott, losing to Arc Inteleon, losing to Arc Inteleon. So they had a really weird run. 6-3 typically doesn't make it, but due to the low player attendance just above the 227, there was about 5 6-3s that did make it in, because we do top 32 now, or 6-2-1, whichever is higher. They ran into some other matchups, had a very strong phase 2, and then absolutely ran through cuts. So shout out to All Out Blitzel for the crazy Gyarados deck. You'll love to see it. If you do want to sign up for any late night series, you can just go to the Limitless page. You can see it says Monday night there, but we've now switched over to Tuesday night to accommodate players attending regional championships. And just in general, it works out better for most people. So sign up for late night number 40. The weekend after that is the Invitational, but there's also going to be the late night special with 400 codes up for grabs. We might be able to change that and get a little bit more. So even if you don't make the Invitational, we will have a late night for you to play in. So I hope that everyone enjoys that, gets a chance to play in these late nights. Probably have some information for late night season 5 coming up soon, so stay tuned for all that. But thank you everyone for all the support. Really appreciate everyone who plays in these events. And that's what we got going on with it. I would have never expected a finals where we saw Suicune Ludicolo playing it up against Arceus, Gyarados, Jolteon. I mean, I'm sure it's not a matchup that Grant was expecting to see, but it is one of those things where you get that at the late night series, and that's where players' creativity is going to be in the Brilliant Stars format. We're almost there with Astral Radiance, so Brilliant Stars is on its way out, Astral Radiance is on its way in. Maybe we'll see at the next late night some more creativity. You never know, but if you want to participate, it's free to play. There's lots of great prizing, PTCGO codes, cash prizing from GG Tour, and store credit prizing from Atlas Collectibles. I'll have to stay tuned for more great stuff from the late night series. Again, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments which deck you want to bring to the late night series. Which deck was your favorite out of here. Let's spark a discussion. If you want to get ready for the next late night series, by all means, feel free to hit me up on metafy.gg for some coaching. Links are in the description. Or if you're trying to build your deck, you go to ptcgostore.com, plug in code ZLassage5 to save 5% on your next order. If you're getting ready for an in-real life event, you can go to atlastcg.com, plug in code ZLassage8 to save 8% off Pokemon singles. I really love making videos for the community, and I'm so glad that we have this platform to do so. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out, and have a great one. Are you trying to get better at Pokemon TCG? Well, if you are, you're in the right place. I offer coaching at metafy.gg/@ZachLassage. That link is in the description, and you pick up a coaching session from me and book it on the website. I likely have availability this week, and you can see exactly what my availability calendar is at any given time. I offer training plans to help players get ready for any of their upcoming events, including getting all the way to the World Championships, or you can pick up a one-on-one coaching session from me and learn the game at your own pace. I offer a variety of opportunities for players to get better at the game, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of players who I've turned into regional, international, and even a world champion along the way. If there's anything, it shows I have an FAQ on the website, so by all means, check it out and get better today. I'd love to help you on your Pokemon journey and be absolutely amazing to see your growth. If you're looking for a great deal on some physical Pokemon TCG cards, you can head over to atlascollectibles.com or atlastcg.com. Type in whatever cards you're looking for. So Arceus V-Star is absolutely hot right now. Let's search up Arceus V-Star. You can see they have a great selection of cards, and it's continuously getting new stock all the time. And we can add these to our cart. You can see I already added one to my cart. So when you're going to check out, you can use code ZLassage8. Use that code, and you can save off your order. That was $4.80 of savings just off of an Arceus V-Star. It's all in Canadian pricing, and they do shipping across the world. So by all means, check out atlastcg.com, atlascollectibles.com, and use code ZLassage8 to save on your next order of physical Pokemon TCG cards. Check out ptcgostore.com, the best place to get Pokemon TCG online codes. There's a lot of selection available, and I have a discount code available for the website as well. You can pick up any kind of cards, just going up here. You can add them to your cart in any quantity that you need to get the cards that you need. And you can go to the discount code right over here, and you can put in code ZLassage5 to save 5% on your next order of codes. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, Help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.